Alright guys, so today we are going to be ranking WIZARD101's worlds. I have them in S, A, B, C, D, and F tiers. So, before we get started, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, leave a comment below the videos, and share them with your friends on social media. Alright, so let's get started. So, S tier. Pick WIZARD101. You got Avalon, Darkmoor, Polaris, Mirage, Novus, and Winter Tusk. Alright, so I would say that Darkmoor was the hardest one. Because you got all these bosses that are like extremely tough, and like how are they surviving that bad like that much, you know what I mean? Yeah. Alright, so you got your A tier, Imperial Part 2 and Part 1, Chrysalis, Water, Aquila, which has Mount Olympus, Atlantia, Tartarus, and Wizard Cities. Great worlds and key milestones. I have it in like that because some of them have good sci-fi vibes, like Imperia and Chrysalis had good key moments. Same thing with Wallow and Wisteria. Now, Aquila. That was a great one because you get to travel to under the sea and up in the sky and into the depths of the three brother gods. That one was awesome. Alright, so B tier. You got Dragonspire, Lemuria, Wisteria, Selenopolis, the Tales of the Seven Dungeons, which has Buckingham Palace, the House of Scales, Castle Darkmoor, to name a few extra. Marleybone. So yeah, solid experience with minor flaws. Okay. Lemuria was like meshed up into one world. Like it went back and took each world and into an idea and put it into Lemuria, like with Mirage, I would say, for the heap in Lemuria. I think that was kind of like a Mirage kind of thing, like when they built the city of Agaba in Mirage. Lemuria's heap was like designed that kind of way a bit. Now, Sononopolis, I had a solid experience because we got to expand Crocotopia, get some new, fresh things going on there with spell weaving and more Egyptian themed quests. That was amazing. And Wisteria, Oh, that was like a Harry Potter kind of world. Awesome. Alright, C tier. Decent but noticeable grind of friction. Caramel, Celestia, Mushu, Sephoria goes home, and the Cryptovol goes with Sonopolis. But yeah, that was a fun little instant cool boss interaction, by the way. Now, Caramel was okay. It was fun. It was a noticeable grind. But you gotta admit, some of the bosses, they were a bit tough. Now, especially Mushu, they were fiction. Mostly because, well, some of it was a bit tricky to find. But then, once you get towards the end, it was like a noticeable grind. So I would say both in the middle of that. Now, Safari and Grizzleheim. Well, okay. Grizzleheim goes with Winter Tusk because, well, it's a two-part world. But, yeah. Safari. Wow. That was a noticeable grind. Yeah. Okay, so we get to D tier and F. Cellular slugs were extreme grind and peak frustration. Okay, Croctopia and the Catacombs. Okay. Croctopia was a tedious slog because, well, they were heavily backtracking and it just became so easy. Now the Catacombs, that was an extreme grind because once you get to the end of the Catacombs and go up against the Devourer, oh my god, that was a bit tough. And now we get to Azteca, the peak frustration. That was so. Azteca's the longest one ever. I mean, holy cow. 197 quests. Like, holy cow. But not as long as Chrysalis. That was a 277 quest. Now, compared to Imperium, parts 1 and 2. I added up 80 quests for part 1, and part 2 is 50. That's 150. No. Sorry. 70 quests for part 2. That's 150 quests total for Imperia. I know. That's a lot for that kind of world. Now, for Grizzleheim and Wisteria, well, that's that much. Only 101. But yeah. So guys, thanks for watching this video. And I will see you guys next time for when more worlds of WIZARD101 come out in years to come. This is Riley Clear saying thanks for watching this video. And Have a good rest of your day. Bye.